CNN sucks. Like CNN sucks. Go home and fake news.
Just say it's great to always have the bankers in because you have tremendous visibility into the economy and what's going on, and we are interested in hearing that feedback, particularly at small and medium-sized businesses in particular industries. We've cataloged for the president all of his executive authorities, which are quite significant. So there'll be various proposals he'll be rolling out quickly on that front, and we're also working with Congress on a bipartisan basis to be able to immediately help small and medium-sized businesses as well.
Thank you very much.
Mr. President, what do you say to Americans who are concerned that you're not taking this seriously enough and that some of your statements don't match what your health experts are saying?
That's CNN, fake news. Go ahead. Thank you very much.
You are fake news.
Thank you very much. 8 o'clock, 8 o'clock today.
5 hours later.
The other thing, Chris, that I think we should point out, at one point during this address, the president referred to the coronavirus as a, quote, foreign virus. That I think was interesting because as I was talking to sources earlier this evening, one of the points that the president wanted to make tonight, wanted to get across to Americans, is that this virus did not start here, but that they're dealing with it. Now, why the president would go as far as to describe it as a foreign virus, that is something we'll also be asking questions about, but it should be pointed out that Stephen Miller, who is an immigration hardliner who advises the president, is one of his top domestic policy advisors and speechwriters, right. Was a driving force in writing this speech. And I think it's going to it's going to come across to a lot of Americans as smacking of xenophobia, to use that kind of term in this speech, Chris.
Well, look, he's doing it to put blame somewhere else. We've seen over the last few days McCarthy and others saying the Chinese coronavirus, the Wuhan coronavirus. We get that.
Over there at Fake News CNN, you have Fake News Jimmy Acosta. Well, he's most worried about the president's terminology, thinking the president's speech was racist because he said the virus started in China. As it turns out, Fake News Acosta has also referred to corona's foreign roots on his own Twitter himself in January. Yep, Fake News Acosta called it Wuhan coronavirus. So I guess by his own definition, Fake News Acosta is a xenophobe.
We've seen over the last few days McCarthy and others saying the Chinese coronavirus, the Wuhan coronavirus. We get that.
Chinese authorities have traced a new deadly virus back to this seafood market in the city of Wuhan.
Saying the Chinese coronavirus, the Wuhan coronavirus. We get that.
They say a new strain of coronavirus originated here has struck dozens of people and put an entire region on edge. Officials say the new virus was first detected in Wuhan on December the 12th.
Now, why the president would go as far as to describe it as a foreign virus, that is something we'll also be asking questions about.
When you report fake news, which CNN does a lot, you are the enemy of the people. Go ahead.
CNN Chief White House Correspondent Jim Acosta. Jim, we've seen your videos, and I've been to these events too. I've met with countless Trump supporters. Even I was shocked at the level of vitriol that was aimed your way last night.
Who the fuck are you? Yeah, I know you know me, but who the fuck are you? I'm probably coming off a little arrogant. See the man in the mirror like, what the fuck you staring at? You taking yourself too serious, and I think it's hilarious.
Well, Essie, I mean, honestly, it felt like we weren't in America anymore. I don't know how to put it any more plainly than that. Americans should not be treating their fellow Americans in this way. But unfortunately, what we've seen, and this has been building for some time since the campaign, I've been talking about this as an issue since the campaign. The question, if I may ask, on the Russia investigation, are you concerned that you may have
I'm not concerned about anything with the Russian investigation because it's a hoax. That's enough. Put down the mic.
Mr. President, are you worried about indictments coming down in this investigation?
Run.
Mr. President.
I'll tell you what, CNN should be ashamed of itself.
Mr. President, what about the DACA kids? Should they worry about what's going to happen to them, sir?
The Democrats have really let them down. They've really let them down. They had this great opportunity. The Democrats have really let them down. It's a shame. And now people are taking advantage of DACA, and that's a shame. It should have never happened.
Didn't you kill DACA, sir? Didn't you kill DACA?
President Obama did not have the power to do this.
Now, the Trump White House says that the Obama administration creating the DACA program at the executive branch was not constitutional. Instead, it says it should be legislated by Congress.
Talking about it is Congress who makes the immigration laws. That is true. The Constitution does not support this. And that President Obama, through a memorandum from DHS at the time, it initiated this program and never intended it to be permanent. When he had 60 Democratic senators, Stuart, they did not take action. They could have taken action if this was so important to them then to make it a permanent piece of the law.
President Obama, he's the one that set up the system that they reapply every 2 years. I mean, this wasn't Trump that put this in place. It was former President Obama.